Let's talk about the journey from a simple sketch all the way to the shop floor. You know, in today's world, that journey has turned into a high-stakes race. Modernizing your design workflow, it's not just about being a little bit faster anymore. It's about survival. And this quote, it just nails it. The market isn't going to wait for you, and you can be sure your competitors aren't waiting either. So the real question is, how do you speed up your entire process without sacrificing an ounce of quality? So here's our game plan. First, we'll dig into the problem itself, this race against time. Then, we'll explore the solution, a truly seamless workflow and the tools that make it happen. And finally, we'll see the payoff, how this can transform your timelines, turning weeks of work into mere days. Okay, first up, the race against time. And let's be real, those slow, clunky, outdated processes aren't just annoying, they are a massive risk to your business's bottom line. And this is the absolute key. We're not talking about just making a few small tweaks here and there. Real success means you have to treat your entire workflow from start to finish as one connected system. Every single step has to be built for speed and for accuracy. So, if a broken, fragmented process is the disease, then a fully integrated one is the cure. Let's really dive into what we mean by end-to-end optimization. What does that actually look like in practice? Well, think of it like building a super smooth digital pipeline. Information just flows from design to engineering to manufacturing with zero roadblocks. It's all about making sure everything is efficient, consistent, and that everyone is on the exact same page. You know, what's so powerful about this is how these benefits feed into each other. When you reduce downtime, you're not just saving a few hours. You're freeing up your team to actually collaborate. And that better teamwork, it leads to smarter designs. And the agility you gain means you can pivot and react to what the market wants almost instantly. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. What are the actual tools and features that make this seamless workflow a reality? We're talking about the productivity power-ups that just completely eliminate those frustrating bottlenecks. Oh, we've all been there, haven't we? Just staring at a progress bar, watching your day tick away while some huge file processes. In a modern workflow, that dead time is just gone. You kick off a big task, and the software just handles it in the background while you immediately move on to something else. I mean, what a game changer. Think about rendering, for example. Getting those high-quality visuals back fast isn't just for looking good in a presentation. It means you can literally see a design flaw or a manufacturing problem long before you ever waste money on a physical prototype. That's less waiting and way fewer expensive mistakes. You know, anyone who's ever worked with a really complex product knows the headache of managing huge assemblies. Modern tools just streamline this whole thing, making it so much faster to mate or, digitally connect all the individual parts together. The result? Fewer errors and a design process that actually feels intuitive. And that brings us to automation. This is where things get really, really powerful. This is how you literally multiply your own effectiveness by letting the software do all the heavy lifting for you. Just imagine all the hours your team spends creating and updating manufacturing drawings. When you automate that, you don't just save time, you guarantee that every single drawing is consistent and accurate. You're freeing up brilliant designers from doing clerical work so they can focus on what they do best, innovating. And then you have batch processing. So instead of converting 50 files one by one, you just set up one process and let the computer run all of them while you're at home sleeping. It's the definition of working smarter, not harder. So what's the end result of all this automation? It's simple, really. You get a massive drop in human error, and that means you spend way less time and money on that costly rework that just kills your timelines and your budget. Okay, so we've seen the individual tools. Now let's zoom out and look at the real-world impact. How do all these little efficiencies add up to completely transform an entire project? This is where it gets really exciting. Let's just walk through a scenario. Right at the beginning, in the design phase, you're saving hours every single week just by cutting out wait times. Then, with super fast rendering, your revision cycles get way shorter because you're getting feedback almost instantly. And finally, by automating all that documentation, you're not saving hours anymore, you're saving days of manual labor. And here it is. This is the ultimate takeaway. We're not talking about small, tiny gains. When you add all of these efficiencies up across the entire project, the effect is absolutely massive. You are literally shaving weeks off your time to market. So what can you do, right now? Here are 4 things to start with. First, really explore the automation tools you probably already have. Second, keep your software updated. You want those latest performance boosts. Third, make it a habit to use features like background processing. And finally, never stop learning. Invest in training. At the end of the day, it all boils down to one simple thing. Embracing this kind of modernization is how you create and how you keep your competitive edge. It's how you become faster, more agile, and more innovative than everybody else. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. Take a really honest look at your own processes, from that very first sketch to the final product on the shop floor. Is your workflow a bottleneck holding you back? Or is it a superhighway propelling you forward? Is it really ready for the future?